Welcome to Across Africa, our weekly look at stories from across the continent. I'm Georgia Calvin-Smith, and this week, lost paperwork, delayed appointments, years of waiting. Getting identification papers, be it a card or a passport, is an exhausting process in Cameroon. Some despairing applicants turn to the black market in the hopes of fast-tracking the system. Also, not going to waste. Most of the 300 tonnes of rubbish generated in Abidjan heads to landfill. But for some of it, that is not the end of the journey, as one sustainability project has been repurposing leftovers to create plastic bricks to build schools. And French graffiti artist Sepe heads to Cape Town as he makes his way around the world on a huge landscape art project that aims to highlight what binds communities together. But first, getting official ID papers in Cameroon is notoriously difficult. It's hard to get around without an ID card or passport, but the red tape involved in the bureaucratic process has left many applicants in despair. Our team sent us this report.
A long wait that will bear no fruit for many Cameroonians at this police station in downtown Yaoundé. They've come to apply for or collect their national identity card, but many will leave empty-handed. This is one of the 280 identification centers in the country. Many people have made official appointments, only to be turned away when that day arrives. Those who manage to get the precious card celebrate after their long wait.
Voilà ma carte d'identité que je viens de retirer après un long entente de plus d'un an. Bon, ce n'est qu'un sentiment de joie.
Despite the difficulties in getting an identity card in Cameroon, the process has recently speeded up a bit, but distribution remains slow. Police say the health crisis has prevented people from collecting them. Unconvincing arguments according to Anne Fekund Bilowa. Every day she gets complaints from thousands of citizens such as this young girl. She has not received an identity card she applied for 8 years ago. Hearing such testimonies prompted the politician to launch the I Want My ID Card initiative. Her movement has gone viral on social media.
La finalité, c'est que la police mette en place des automatismes pour résoudre la crise de la CNI. Les citoyens n'ont pas à négocier, à supplier pour un document aussi banal.
The process of getting a Cameroonian passport, another important identification document, is also stressful and unpredictable. Some prefer to risk turning to the black market. Using a hidden camera, we pose as a potential client to meet with this middleman. He promises to speed up the process and provide authentic documents at a high cost. 450,000 CFA francs, nearly 700 euros, 6 times the official price, but some see it as a cost worth paying to bypass the fickle and official process.
Now, most of the 60,000 Moroccans who usually head off for overseas studies every year have had their lives put on hold because of coronavirus. Many who have returned home to wait it out are finding the uncertainty difficult. Our correspondents tell us more.
Like every day since the start of the pandemic, Hinda's been waiting for the return of visas to do an internship in the US. Newly graduated in medicine, she thought she would already be doing her specialization. Today, she's still waiting.
It's a lot of wasted time. 1 year for a student or for a recently graduated medical student is a lot. The later you wait for your diploma, the less chance you have of being accepted into specialization. Psychologically, it's a huge blow. It shakes you completely. You lose control, you don't have any visibility on your future. It's a lot of time wasted, lots of effort and lots of frustration.
While waiting to restart her studies overseas, Afra, who dreams of working in international trade, has decided to follow an online course in business management. Before, Afra was studying in China, in Wuhan, but she was repatriated at the start of the pandemic. Returning to her family, she found it difficult to follow her lessons online.
It wasn't at all easy, given the time difference, adapting to the platforms required. But I was able to manage last year, And now I'm just waiting for the day when the borders open so I can return. I miss life over there a lot. I really miss my friends. I was meant to be there for 4 years. So coming back was very demotivating.
Impatient to restart her life, like thousands of other students.
A whopping 300 tonnes of plastic waste are produced in Abidjan every day. A fraction of that gets recycled. But one project's seen the problem as a learning experience and is helping turn rubbish bound for landfills into bricks that can be used to build classrooms. France 24's Sam Bradpeace reports.
Plastic, wherever you look. Abidjan is drowning in it. In this landfill site, small hands sift through the waste, searching for plastic. This is how they get by. But in recent months, their livelihoods have improved.
We have joined a company, and honestly, it is very good. Very good.
These women have seen their incomes double since they started working directly for the Colombian business Conceptos Plásticos. Set up last year, their factory transforms plastic waste into building material.
You can see all the different kinds of plastic here. Now we're going to grind it and over there densify it so that we can use it in our manufacturing process.
The finished product, towering columns of plastic bricks, more resistant and less heavy than traditional concrete ones. The bricks are sold to UNICEF, who use them to build classrooms.
There is a shortage of classrooms in Côte d'Ivoire, and actually quite a number of the reasons why children don't go to school is lack of classrooms or them being overcrowded.
In this Abidjan neighborhood next to the old school building, a new classroom is ready. The main perk, according to this teacher, is that plastic is a better insulator.
As soon as we go into the classroom, it's less hot compared to ordinary buildings. There is cool air. We feel comfortable when we teach.
UNICEF has already built 61 classrooms out of recycled plastic across the country, with new ones popping up every month.
The mining town that sits above an estimated quarter of global reserves of valuable manganese struggles with glaring inequality. Whilst the mining giant Comilog that operates the site has brought vast wealth to a few, most residents in Moanda face poverty and a lack of infrastructure, despite promises of investment. Laurent Berstecker has more.
Verdant hills dotted with villas, gyms, swimming pools and cinemas overlook the Gabonese city of Moanda. This gated community hosts around 200 people working for mining company Comilog. A life of comfort and modernity far removed from the daily struggles of most Moanda residents.
Ici, sur la route noire de Comilog, nous n'avons pas de courant, nous n'avons pas d'eau, nous n'avons pas de pompe publique.
The Gabonese subsidiary of French mining giant Eramet, Comilog has been exploiting manganese in the region for nearly 6 decades. Decades during which Moanda grew from a village of 500 residents to a city of 60,000 today. But the boom has left infrastructure lagging behind and further deepened inequalities between locals and Comilog employees.
Comilog a les moyens. Alors, qu'ils mettent les moyens en contribution de manière à ce que tout marche bien pour les populations et pour la ville.
Faced with mounting criticism, Comilog has over the past 2 years invested some 35 million euros to upgrade the city's infrastructure. A social responsibility plan that's beginning to bear fruit, but which local authorities say doesn't go far enough.
Ce qui a été fait est bien, mais il reste encore beaucoup à faire. Ça veut dire qu'il y a encore des quartiers qui sont assez sous-intégrés, des routes secondaires qui sont dans un état lamentable. La Comilog le sait.
Since 2018, Gabon has seen no fewer than 10 ministerial reshuffles. As the country struggles to maintain a semblance of political continuity, it's becoming increasingly common for private companies such as Comilog to step in and take over large-scale development projects.
French graffiti artist Sepe's latest project consists of giant biodegradable paintings on grass. His Beyond Walls movement sees him trying to create the largest ever human chain to highlight the importance of coming together to overcome social conflict. Recently, he was in Cape Town in South Africa, the third of 7 African countries included in the project.
Armed with a spray gun and a blueprint, Guillaume Legros gets to work in Cape Town's Philippi Township. Using this vacant lot as his canvas, the French-Swiss artist known as Sape meticulously applies stripes of black and white paint to create a massive fresco, which only reveals itself from above.
It's only together that humanity can respond to the biggest challenge of our time. And this is this message that I want to do by making huge fresco with biodegradable paint directly on the grass. It is a road-wide project, and the idea is to create the biggest human chain to speak about togetherness. And today in Cape Town, this is the 9th step of this project.
A message of solidarity which Sape hopes to help spread with his Beyond Walls series. These giant frescoes depicting interlaced hands have already sprung up in Paris, Istanbul and Turin, but also in Yamoussoukro in Ivory Coast and Ouagadougou in Burkina Faso. A human chain which Sape plans to extend to some 20 countries, a way for the artist to foster a sense of unity that goes beyond walls and borders.
In a crisis time, you know, the world is polarizing. And it's very important to share a message of hope and optimistic message to the rest of the world.
Sape traded street art for land art in 2016 when he decided to give up on walls and start painting on grass. His frescoes may be temporary, but for the graffiti artists, all that matters is that the message remains.
Well, that's it for Across Africa for now. Thanks for joining us, and do so again if you can. Take care.